So we talked about it last week a little bit. Ant-Man coming out saying that MJ was the only skilled player from back then. And I
Yes.
remember one of us mentioned that, Magic, probably he wouldn't say something like that to Magic, like if they were
Right.
in the same room, right?
Hmm.
And Magic did make a response to this. And basically his response was, I don't respond to people who haven't won a championship. And Magic with 5 titles really just dismissed everything that Ant-Man had to say. Okay, well, what do you think about Magic's response? And is this Ant-Man comment just looking sillier and sillier as we go on?
Yeah, Jay. I mean, when you look at it, I mean, as far as his response, I want does he not talk to Charles Barkley? Are they not good friends? They don't talk anymore because Charles doesn't have a championship. So yeah, well, where Ant Man goes, as far as what he said, I mean, a lot of those guys are going to take issue to it, man. I mean, you have to as a competitor. Britt mentioned ego earlier in this show, so ego plays a part in this. So you got to say, well, yeah, MJ is MJ, but don't dismiss what we were still able to do. I won 5 championships. I won as a rookie, as Britt mentioned. I won as a rookie. I played all 5 positions my rookie year, as far as Magic goes. And I mean, the
And
list
beat
just
my
goes on.
team.
But exactly, yeah, yeah. Well, sorry, Brad. I didn't realize I forgot about that. But yeah, I mean, when you look at all of the accolades that Magic alone had, I mean, you could say he has skill set. I mentioned he's 6'9", point guard, facilitator. The things that he was able to do, the no look passes that he brought in, the Showtime, all that stuff. I mean, that takes talent and all that good stuff. So yeah, I understand where Magic is coming from. But yeah, he opened up a can of worms, and meaning Ant-Man, and a lot of people are going to start. We're going to start to see a lot of people respond to this as far as players from that era. It's not Magic's not going to be the first, and I guarantee you, he's not going to be the last.
Yeah, he definitely opened up a can of worms for
Yeah.
sure. And Kevin Garnett, and I don't know if this was in response to Ant-Man's or if this was just
It was.
was in response to Ant-Man. So
Mhm.
KG had something to say about this too. I haven't seen one player that has really come out and said, yeah, Ant-Man really hit this nail on the head. Like
No one's going
everyone
to.
that I've
No one's
seen
going to.
has been like, what is this guy talking about? But Britt, can you play the Kevin Garnett video, and then I want to get your thoughts on what KG had to say about this
Yep.
whole thing.
Bringing it up right now. Nope, nope. Let's try that again. I don't know why it keeps doing this. Technology will do that to you. Okay, here it comes.
Bro, I don't think anybody in this generation could have played like 20 years ago, if I'm being 100. And this is to everybody in our league, Tatum, all y'all. Let me tell y'all something, bro. 20 years ago, bro, you couldn't get to a triple step back.
Nah.
You hear what I'm saying to you? You couldn't get to a triple step back. And then if you shot that shit, it had to go in. You know why? Because we had efficiency back in the day, my dude, and it was so fucking hard. It was too physical. And guess what? The league had to come off of it for the flow of movement to be able to have scoring go up, which is why we like to sit here and watch kind of the rat race of the high-paced game, right? But, bro, let's not talk about the gamemanship, and let's not talk about the physicality of the game back then. Real shit, because I only think half these kids in the league could have been on an NBA team 20 years ago.
Straight up.
The locker room was too too grown.
You know what I watched too? You know what I watched?
It was too grown. It was two of them. It was too much of a fraternity. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man.
Just
like
the hand check.
No, bro. It was a different vibration. David Stern did a great job of taking all of the physicality out of the game. You understand? Freedom of movement means freedom of movement. Man, back in the day when you had to get by Paul because Paul was squared up with you and ready to slide, and then he could body you, he could poke, he could use his hands, but I can use my hands.
I can fight through a screen.
Bro, the shit that we saw in the Olympics was similar style play when the guard could ride you damn near over the pick.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to get out of that, and a nigga like Holiday, when he come out and he get over, he there.
Right.
So if you go to cross him, bro, you don't even, that's what I'm saying, bro. Man, the levels in which you had to be not only strong enough but skilled enough to get by this nigga in front of you. You understand? And then they ain't never seen a 6'7" Rodman guard you.
You heard what the man had to say, Britt. What are your thoughts on this? KG saying that he doesn't think half these guys could have made it in the NBA back then.
Do I look like I want to go against anything, KG? Did you not see how he took off his glasses and was about his business when he just said that? But that tells you the type of player he was and the type of player they were back in the day. They weren't playing to come game. They weren't coming to play games. I'll put it backwards. They, like he said, they were extremely physical. So all this, like he said, triple step back, you can easily drive. No, they will knock you on your buttocks real quick to make sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead and try that again and see what happened. It was it's a different game. And I think I kind of agree with them. They took hand check out of the game. They took a lot of the things that allowed a defensive player to be great. A lot of things that they do to be great, they took a lot of that away, and now they're called fouls or technicals, or I'm not gonna say as far as flagrants, because I think right and yeah, maybe flagrant ones. Back then those are just no calls a lot of times. So a lot of the things that you see what's his name, Harden do, or a lot of things that you see even the Steph Curry and all those guys do, they would not be able to do that back then because it was just way more physical back then. Now, if you touch somebody, on the hand by mistake, just like this, it's a foul. They're shooting 2 shots at the line. Like, the league has gotten so soft, it's really is really, to me, a shame. But I think he's right. I could tell you a lot of these players, to me, won't be able to survive back in those days, in my opinion. But I agree with them. And I think that's part of the reason why they struggled a little bit in the Olympics at times, was because of the physicality.
Yeah.
And that was unheard of for us. We always brought the physicality to the Olympics, to the other players. But now it's just like, how are we struggling with that? What is going on? How is that impact? Why is that impacting our shots from going in? Because most of our players, some of our favorite players in today, completely struggled. It may have been one person. It was just because he was too physical. He fouled out that first game. That was Joel Embiid. He was being too physical.
Yeah.
But I don't disagree with anything that KG said, and even if I did, I don't know if I would say it. No, I'm just kidding.
One thing's for sure, these guys are tired of these new players taking shots at them. That's one thing for sure. But K-Walk, what are your thoughts on the video?
Yeah, I agree with him, man. That's why he's my starting power forward of my all-time starting team. But yeah, I mean, he just tells it like it is, man. I mean, you look at it. We're not taking away from the skill set as far as them being able to jump and dribble and things of that nature. It's just the physicality aspect, the mental aspect of it. I mean, look at what you mentioned it, Britt, and he mentioned it as well. KG mentioned as well. The Olympics. Look what MJ and Pip did when they introduced Tony Kukoc to the Olympics, and they were supposed to be his teammate. Their teammates coming in. And they let him know this is how it's going to be. This is how we play. If you can't deal with this, you're not going to be able to deal with it in the league, because this is how it's going to be played each and every night. And I can't see, like, look at Jason Tatum. I'm tired of seeing guys hold the ball. The ball is on top of their hand. Their hand is underneath the ball. The step backs and things of that nature. I mean, this is not basketball, man. I mean, anyone with a skill set can do that. I mean, can get away with stuff like that. And then we look at LeBron. Someone swipes past his head, and he's holding his head for 5 minutes. It's just like turning into FIFA soccer right now. And it's just like, you go down, you're holding your leg, you're holding your arm, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. You're not going to get away with that, man. I mean, and back in the day, I mean, it's just ridiculous. So yeah, I agree 100% with the big ticket.
Yeah, man. The amount of stuff that these guys can get away with now, I mean, that is not a point that should go unnoticed. Go ahead, Britt.
I was going to say, I think the younger players, Anthony Edwards and all these younger players, have to understand that rules were changed to your favor.
Right.
The superstars today will not be superstars back then. Like he said, you either may not make be in the league, or you're a bench guy. point blank
Yeah.
period.
Right.
So some are, I'm not going to negate all, some will
Right.
be,
Right.
but a lot of these so-called superstars, they're not going to be superstars during their era at all. So it's a different league. The rules are in your favor. I just would like for them to bring back hand checking, and let's see how many
I don't think that's
superstars
gonna
get
happen.
eliminated from that. But you know how
Yeah.
many superstars will get eliminated just from that?
Yeah.
It won't happen, but a lot will. And that's why you're seeing this big jump in the offensive numbers. All of a sudden, you got 125 points in a game
I know,
on
right?
both sides. It'll be 125 at 120. Back
The
then,
third
you'd
quarter,
be
in the
lucky if
third
you
quarter.
get 90. Right. Back then, you'd be lucky if you get 90 points in a game.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
And not only that, just to add on just a little bit to the mentality of it, is back in the day, you wouldn't see these guys collaborate the way they're collaborating with these big threes. You know, you had to actually draft. Your GM actually had to be a GM in order for you to get a big three if you were lucky like that. And now is this day, these guys are just manipulating the system. Hey, you know, you sign a contract here, but do a player option there, and we'll all opt out at the same time, and we'll meet. You know, we'll meet in South Beach. Yeah, we'll meet in South Beach. I'm using that as an example, or we'll meet wherever. Yeah, so that's another part of it, as KG's kind of alluded to, the mentality aspect of it. It's like these guys are too soft, too friendly to be able to play in that era.
Yeah, for sure.